Welcome to the Online Trainer Show, where we help fitness and nutrition pros take better care of their clients and build profitable businesses. I'm Jonathan Goodman, and as always, I'm joined by Amber Reynolds. We're happy you're here. Let's start the show.
Think about all the stories that we tell ourselves in our heads. Think about what happens when a client stops responding to you. Right? You get somebody who's interested in your program, and this could be before they sign up. Right, or this could be when they're a client and like things are going really well and all of a sudden they don't respond to you. And that's when your head starts going nuts. Do they hate me? Did I say something? Did I offend them? Did I screw up? Is my life going to end? Should I be a fitness professional? I don't think that I'm good at this. Are they going to refund? Oh, they can't refund. I don't, what if they refund? Do I give them back the money? Do I not? I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what's going on. Meanwhile, your client just went on vacation and they forgot to tell you. Like you have no idea what's going on. Our brain is really, really good at jumping to worst case scenarios. And this can definitely be seen when a client ghosts you. And it will happen over the course of your training career. It happens to everybody. Now, you can get in front of it. A lot of the sales process, you can be very proactive and get in front of it a lot of the time so it doesn't happen. Make sure that client is comfortable with you. But the reality of it is it still will. And our brain's really good at jumping to worst case scenarios. Our brain is really good at making us think that we're failures and that everybody hates us and we've done something awful and we're never going to be able to come back from it and it's all over and they finally figured me out. And, I'm just going to give up. Well, you actually have no idea what's going on. And the most important thing here is to be very curious, to make it okay for a client to say stuff, to open up the floor to a client to say stuff. And this is where motivational interviewing really comes in. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to read you a page from the Online Trainer Academy textbook. Because one of the things that we do in that course is we teach you how to navigate situations before they come up. A lot of the time stuff that you don't even think about probably that might come up. We've done this so many times. We know all the things that could happen. We know all the things that might happen. And we prepare you in advance. And this is one of those examples. So this is from Module 3, Client Care. And it's in the textbook, and it's called, and I quote, When Clients Ghost You. Reading time with Jon. At some point, you'll have a client who won't respond to your check-ins. It happens to all of us. There are lots of reasons why it happens. Many of them have nothing to do with you. Maybe a client got too busy, or they're feeling guilty about not following through with your program. Try to resist telling yourself a story that throws you off your coaching game. Not long ago, we walked you through motivational interviewing. You're going to get a chance to work on your motivational interviewing skills here when a client doesn't respond to your check-in. So the first response, this is a follow-up 2 days after they ghosted you. Hey, client name. It looks like you might have missed my message. Do you mind if we circle back to that message? I'd love to hear more about your week or what you were checking in on. Now, the motivational interviewing tactic used here is just gentle observation and asking permission to follow up. Simple, confident, curious, respectful. That's all it is. Now, if they still don't respond, here's the second non-response message you want to send them in up to 2 days. Hey, client name. On a scale of 1 to Liam Neeson, how quickly should I send somebody to check up on you? Now, the motivational interviewing tactic that we're using here is changing the direction slightly and diverting attention away from the fact that they haven't responded by doing something that's extreme, like on a scale of 1 to Liam Neeson, you're basically taking the ball out of their court. You're making a bit of a joke out of this. You're going to the extremes, saying, and it's just a different tactic to get them to try to respond, to be like, no, it's not that bad. Right? By making it, by saying like this is as bad, like I know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you are. But I will find you. And when I do, and I don't remember what the rest of it is, but obviously that's extreme, right? And immediately now, whenever somebody hits you with a comment like that, you're like, no, it's not that bad. Like, that's our knee jerk. So that's the motivational interviewing technique. And what we're doing is we're selectively using, like, you don't even have to worry about understanding motivational interviewing. We just like to give you a little bit more about why these techniques are useful. Like, there's a lot of psychology behind these messages, right? Okay, so they still don't respond. Here's your third non-response. So this is 5 days later. Hey, client name. I noticed that you haven't been responding to my messages. No problem. My job isn't to tell you what to do. Instead, it's to help guide you. Can you tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed you feel right now to achieving your goal of X that we established a short while ago? Know that there's no right or wrong answer. You don't need to impress me or make me feel good. I just want to get a handle on how you feel right now. Cool? So the motivational interviewing tactic here is, this is a more straightforward follow-up. We start with an observation, and then we remind them that they're in charge. And that's one of the key components to motivational interviewing, is the client's in charge, right? As a coach, your job isn't to tell somebody what to do. It's to guide them to the behaviors that are going to get them the results that they want. And it has to be their choice. They have to have their own, what's the word? It starts with an A.
Autonomy?
Yeah, they have to have their autonomy over it. We make it okay to say stuff they think we don't want to hear. That's key. A lot of the time when people ghost you, it's because they're afraid to tell you stuff that they think you don't want to hear.
They think there's going to be confrontation.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And then you follow it with a scaling question, which helps just immediately give somebody a really easy way to answer. A scale question, if somebody tells you that they're a 6, you can easily answer and say, okay, can you think of something that might get you to a 6.5? It's a really easy way to quantify that and get them at least slowly moving in the right direction again, versus a more open-ended question that's harder. And then you want to end with just a test of understanding. Like you don't need to impress me. I just want to get a handle on what's going on. Right? Now, if a client continues to ghost you, you want to continue to be the awesome coach that you are. There's lots of reasons they might not be checking in with you. Like, keep checking in respectfully, just so they know that you're there for them. Like, clearly they're going through something. That's it. It's respectful. It's curious. First of all, if they do hate you, you kind of want to know so that you can cut ties and stop spending time with it and then figure out what you did wrong. Odds are they don't. And either way, the last thing you want to be doing is sitting at home in front of your computer, staring blankly at the screen, trying to think about all of the things that might be happening and why your life is ending.
I've recently had a conversation with a student around this exact thing. Like, he's worried about a client of his, like, their conversation. Like, they didn't get ghosted, but their communication style changed, and it went from really friendly to kind of very short. And so all of a sudden he was feeling like, oh, like they're mad at me. And then, like, he was having trouble getting them on the phone to have a coaching call, and they finally got on a call and everything was fine. She was just so focused on other stuff that her brain just couldn't get into that mode. Had nothing to do with him, and she was doing great. And so he had told himself this story, freaking himself out for no reason. And we all do it. I mean, I do it myself. I mean, with students or whatever. who doesn't freak out when, their boss is like, hey, we should chat. Like, oh shit, I'm getting fired today. Like, we all kind of do that. But knowing that you do that and having a method to kind of deal with that and having a plan in place, which is what we give our students, like, here is your plan. So that way you can kind of mitigate that freak out moment.
You freak out when I say, hey, let's have a chat?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Every time you message me, my heart's like,
would it help if I like gave some context to like, hey, let's have a chat. Everything's fine. I just want to get your wisdom and
authority. I don't know what it is. It's not you personally. It's just an authority thing. Or when you send K. Like, I always feel like you're angry at me when you just send K. Like, that's like a passive aggressive, like, F you.
Really?
In my head, for me, if I ever do that to you, you done foobarred. But I know that's not for you, but that's my instinct. But again, right, those are the stories that we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with John. It's just
this is a good lesson, because I'm often, I mean, if it's a work day and I'm talking to you, like, I'm often juggling 4 or 5 things. Right? So I'm just like, the conversation's over. Like, hey, I get it. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, I know, but just logically, I know that, but like, it's not my communication style, because if I do that to you, I'm mad at you.
Okay.
So now you know. If I ever send you K, you're in trouble.
Okay.
So that is how you re-engage with clients. And that is it for today. You got anything else?
No. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.